I'm Dave O with AGA Productions, the resident OCD cover-to-cover book reader. Welcome to 2 Minute Takeaway. No video synopsis is ever going to be as good as reading the actual book, and I may get something different from reading than you would, but maybe this will save you some time. I just recently read Being Adopted, The Lifelong Search for Self by David Brodzinski, Marshall Schechter, and Robin Marantz. Here are my thoughts. Let's start the timer. Why did I read it? Why did I read it? Why did I read it? I'm adopted, and we actually talk about that quite a bit on the channel. A few days ago, I read 20 Things Adopted Kids Wish Their Adopted Parents Knew by Sherry Eldridge, and this book was one of the references from that book, so I read it. This book, Being Adopted, is a much more clinical look at adoption than several of the other books that are out there on the subject. The authors of this book are coming at the subject from a more detached stance, though they do have varying degrees of relationship with adoptees. None of the authors are adopted themselves, though they have been trained to deal specifically with the psychology and neurology of adoption issues. The idea that most resonated with me from this book is that there are distinct differences in the ways that adoptees process the various milestones associated with life and growth and maturity. However, there are also things that are the same regardless of whether you were adopted or not. The predominant theme is that of searching, either about the past for psychological or even medical reasons, but that searching for genetic history does not mean that an adoptee is really all that different from another toddler or a baby or an adult or even somebody in middle or late life. Many of these are simply their own issues that apply to adoptees that require their own thinking and struggling and maturing through. Has it changed the way I live? I appreciated the professional approach that this book took to psychological and neurological processing, as well as that they included chapters on every step in the life cycle. I'm currently in my 30s, and that chapter held special significance for me as it fairly accurately described the things that I'm going through and processing now. As a side note, this book was published in 1992, so some of the ideas are a little bit outdated now, and there's very little in it that talks about the specifics of international adoption. However, I'm prompted to search out what I can on that part of the subject, or to document my own experience, even if only just for the sake of posterity. Was it worth the price of admission? I bought this book for $1, so yes, definitely worth that and more. If this is your first introduction to adoption thinking and processing, I'd probably recommend The Primal Wound by Nancy Verrier as a good starting point, but if you've got some background in this area, well then this, as an adopted adult, is probably the easiest for me to read. Thanks for watching 2 Minute Takeaway with AGA. We're gonna have more 2-minute reviews of books, music, and movies coming here very soon. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and as always for me, what have you been reading?